don't worry about it.
I am Annette Hipona, the elected city clerk of Daly City. A recommendation and an action by this city manager and this city council on March 9th this year has sparked a controversy that has generated outrage in newspaper articles, letters to the editor, opinion pieces, on blogs, public comment in this very chamber, on TV news, in Democratic Party organizations, homeowner and resident groups, and government and private workplaces locally and across the county and state. Nearly 2,400 people have viewed the YouTube of the council meeting where you voted to cut my salary in half and called for the police to remove me for speaking more than 2 minutes. I spoke before you that night and have remained silent since then until after the San Mateo County Civil Grand Jury made its final report. I stayed silent because this controversy is not just about me personally, or even really about what my salary should be. This whole controversy is about what is good governance, the independence of the office of the city clerk, freedom of information, and the public's right to know. It is not about your not respecting the democratic process and your unwillingness to gracefully accept the will of the voters. All of these issues belong to the community at large. Now it is time for my voice to be heard. I have been advised by members of the legal community that this is a definitively and strongly worded grand jury report and would have significant influence in my favor if I were forced to take this matter to higher legal authority. Certainly, a report such as this demands our willingness to listen and an openness to compromise. Any serious discourse on this topic has to include me. I hope you will allow me the adequate time to calmly speak my piece without an arbitrary 2-minute time limit or the fear of police removal. I had asked others to refrain from speaking to remove the excuse that there are too many speakers, but respectfully, I will submit some cards for someone to finish this.
Okay, that's fair.
Ms. Martell, could kindly give that to me, please.
Thank you, Ms. Hipona. I appreciate your cooperation. Okay. Sylvia Avers-Lynch. I'm not taking any, Judith, I'm not taking any shouting. You got something to say? Submit a card, please. Submit
Point
a
of order.
card, please, okay?
Oh, please turn up the volume.
No problem. Go ahead.
This grand jury report is very
Hold on.
strongly
Can you
worded.
hit the thingamajig?
This grand jury report is very strongly worded and very specific. It answered the basic question: was your March 9th recommendation and subsequent decision to cut the Daly City Clerk's salary in half justified? The 19 members of the grand jury did not answer with a, well, there was less than compelling justification, or it was less than fully justified. No, they flat out said, quote, the Daly City Clerk's compensation reduction was unjustified, period, unquote. They go on to say that it was quite, quote, inappropriate, unquote, for the city manager to even recommend to cut the salary during my term of office without giving notice before the election. They say that, quote, changing the salary several months later during the term of office is in essence changing the terms of an agreement between the city and an elected official without consent of the elected official, unquote. This is like breaking a contract. The grand jury report says that the council claims that the elected city clerk's job is part-time, has, quote, no credence, unquote. They say, quote, the new city clerk's responsibilities are not any different from the previous city clerk's responsibilities, unquote. For these reasons, the grand jury recommends that the full salary of the city clerk be restored retroactively to its November 2008 level, and they further recommend that the city council not cut any elected official's salary during their term of office without their consent. The grand jury makes several other important statements. They also state that, quote, city management has denied the city clerk access to information such as the council committee assignments and calendar information that are typically considered public records, unquote. The city manager refused to give me public information until I was forced to invoke the California Public Records Act. Now, I know that the grand jury has also recommended that the city clerk be appointed instead of allowing the voters the right to elect their city clerk. But this grand jury report also clearly documents exactly why in Daly City we need an elected clerk.
You have another card?
I
You have any, can you just give them all to me? Okay, you either give them all to me or this is the last speaker. Okay? No. Look, you know what? I run this meeting, okay? You either give me all the cards now or you don't call anybody else up. You decide. All right, we're going to have Dana come up first and then Gloria Ann Jones. Hold on a second. You ready? Okay, you're on.
But the grand jury report also clearly documents exactly why in Daly City we need to have an elected city clerk. As an elected city clerk, the voters hire and fire me, and I am free to fight, if I must, to defend your right to all legally public information. How free would I feel to fight for that right if the person who can fire me is the very same person refusing me access to public information? Back in 1996, the City Council attempted to take away the voters' right to elect the city clerk, and the public answered with a 75% support vote for keeping the city clerk an elected position. I predict that after all that has happened recently, the vote would be even more in favor of preserving the voters' right to choose their own city clerk. The grand jury said the whole situation, quote, has been handled poorly by the city manager's office and the city council, unquote. All in all, this is the most strongly worded grand jury report that I have ever read, and it clearly says what this council and city manager did was wrong. Your behavior has damaged the reputation of Daly City. It is time to get on with the serious business of running a city. And if that's not good enough reason, you should at least be motivated to consider your own political futures. Right now, we all need to stop and take a deep breath. Annette would have liked to say this herself. This is not about us. It is about what is best for Daly City. I know that the civil grand jury says that you should retroactively restore my full salary and not cut it at any time during my term of office. But we are in an economic crisis, and I would like to volunteer to take the same 10% pay cut that other city employees are taking. In addition, I offer to take an additional 10% salary cut until I have become a certified municipal clerk.
Okay. Gloria Ann? Don't start her yet. Don't start her yet. Okay. That's good.
This certification program takes a minimum of 2 to 3 years to complete after being sworn in as a city clerk. I checked with our most recent city clerk, and while very active in the organization, she stated that she was not a certified city municipal clerk. The grand jury report states that my job is the very same as previous city clerks. They were considered to be the head of the city clerk's department, and I expect to be treated the same way. And that means that the city manager needs to stop crossing my name off as a department head. I need to be invited to give budget input for my department, and the city manager needs to make a commitment to work cooperatively with me to do the city's business. Before I close, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have stepped up to support the office of city clerk and offered me personal words of encouragement. My family has stood by me each and every day while this unfortunate episode has taken its toll on my health and my happiness. I want to thank my fellow city clerks, elected officials, and everyday people here in Daly City, throughout San Mateo County, and across the state. I have offered the council a generous compromise. I am hopeful that you have the courage, wisdom, and nobility to gracefully accept my offer so that we can bring this controversy to an end here tonight, and that we can all work together to refocus our energies and our efforts on the business of Daly City and providing the best possible service to our residents.